This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, possibly a bad breakup or loss of a loved one? BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours, and this is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional therapy done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise which may not be available locally in many areas, and the service is available for clients worldwide. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your therapist, and you'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change therapists if you need. It's more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit their website and read through the testimonials that are posted daily. www.betterhelp.com/reviews. There's no shame in reaching out for help, so please visit betterhelp.com/wideopen. That's better, H-E-L-P, and join the over 2 million people that have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states. A special offer for Life Wide Open podcast listeners: get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/wideopen.
All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. We took a little 1 week hiatus, which probably didn't do us too many favors because we're trying to stay consistent with it. So if you guys are watching this, we just ask that you turn the notification bell on so you know when we post. And we're going to try and continue on the schedule of doing one a week. Seems like you guys are really liking the pod, so we appreciate that. Yeah, this one should be a good one. We'll get into it, but we got CJ in the hot seat. If you guys saw the title and thumbnail, we're going to base this podcast around the mind of CJ and everything that is, which I'm extremely intrigued to see what we get into because I personally have a lot of questions, and you guys will get a good backstory on like everything that is today from the root of where it all started. So should be entertaining. But how you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
You don't look too good.
Yeah, I'm good.
The gallon of water? Is that a sign?
Drink a gallon of water.
Yeah, everyone drinking a gallon of water looks bad, obviously.
Well, I like to be hydrated normally. Well, pretty much always.
You feeling good though? You didn't get into it last night?
I feel great.
You didn't answer my question.
I was like, I got into it last night and feel good.
Yeah, I did. I did get into it last night though, but yeah.
Ben hung out with his girlfriend. I worked out. I worked out last night.
Well, you need it.
And then I do need it. Bro, it was in the last video. I was like, damn, I got a gut. So then I went and worked out.
Deleted the gut?
Deleted the gut. It's all done. One workout. I'm good. And then I went to bed.
Smart man.
Good
Smart
for
man.
you, Ryan.
I almost went and joined you, but instead I was like, I'm hungry. And then one game of darts turned into a blackout.
That's what we were trying to get to.
We don't need to talk about that.
We'll brush over that. We'll brush over that. So last time we were sitting on the podcast, we had Evan on, and things got a little weird. Some of us are sleep deprived. Some of us were hammered. And we ended it with CJ saying to Evan, have fun on your trip. If you break the dirt bike or if you total the dirt bike out, it's fine. Yeah. And I think Evan literally took that to heart because I don't know if that was his mission, but it seemed like it. If you guys saw the video, Evan looped out twice. He ended up putting the bike up on this hill, and we kind of showcased it, but like it was seriously one quick little slide away from like totaling the entire bike out.
You couldn't even stand on the hill. And it was a rental bike.
Yeah.
Did you guys have insurance?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have pushed it down.
The issue is we were with the owner.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we were with like the owner of the
was
resort.
Was he tripping?
Yes. Yes, he was tripping. And you know who was tripping even harder? Evan, dude.
Why?
Well, he was afraid of heights.
Afraid of heights.
Oh.
He's afraid of heights. And this was like, I shit you not, the steepest hill I've ever been on. And dude, it was so sketchy. It was so incredibly sketchy.
Evan didn't even like help up on the hill because he was like trying to claw into the dirt because every time he looked down, he'd get so scared. Fearless Evan, dude. I've seen that guy do things that no human should do on a dirt bike. And he's scared of heights.
I mean, I wasn't there obviously, but just like knowing how things get like portrayed after like on camera, it looks steep on camera, which is saying how steep it was in real life because it's always like looks so not steep on camera.
It was just steep or like not steep enough, I guess, for rocks to still be able to like hold themselves on the hill. But it had to have been 55 degrees. or something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Well, Ryan was trying to climb up to us, and we were trying to climb down to the bike and to Evan. And every time you take a step, it would just spit up a bunch of rocks and hit Ryan down below,
dude,
or whoever was down.
It was literally terrifying. Everyone was like, dude, this is a rental. Like, I don't want to destroy it. And we were like, dude, don't worry about it. We'd prefer if you didn't, but like, this is such good content. It is so entertaining. And yeah, I mean, the video turned out as a banger. You guys will see the other part of it. We went to our friends, Grindhard Plumbing Co.
That was fun.
Ethan and Edwin.
Yeah.
Basically, if you guys aren't familiar with them, they build like the craziest toys. Like basically anything from off-road Teslas to baby Barbie Jeeps, like the little electric ones. They'll put like 450 motors in it. And so we showed up to this their place in the middle of Idaho, like in the middle of nowhere. Like we thought we lived in the middle.
They are out there.
Yeah. Seriously out there. I don't even think they had like service or Wi-Fi. Well, they had Wi-Fi, obviously. They upload YouTube videos. But, dude, seriously, middle of nowhere. So we show up, and it's like when people come to our shop and we give them a tour, like we're just so excited to share, you know, like our life with people and like all these toys that we built and all these things that we're proud of, right? And just like share the excitement with people. That was them to us. And they had so many cool builds that we were just like literally running around for like 3 hours straight. And they were like, all right, check this out. Hop in it.
So then they put zip lines across all these trees, right? Or like from one tree house to this, just basically to this tree above their house. And then they have a few other zip lines across a creek. And we were up on this super steep hill with Evan, and that was scary, but it was way scarier zip lining because I'm like, well, so what do? You just, they take out this sketchy, like welded metal bar that they had with like no grip, and it's raining and it's dark, and they're like, yep, just zip across to the creek other side
And put your feet up because
Yeah.
you'll hit the tree pretty fast.
and you, man, if you fell,
This one was attached to Ethan's house. So one anchor point was Ethan's house, and then the other one on the other side of this massive ravine, like at the highest point, was probably what, 50 feet?
40,
Yeah,
50
it was
feet.
a big drop. Yeah, if you fell, you'd break your legs for sure. and
And they just like, yeah, just go across,
Dude.
just hold on.
that's when I think I looked at Edwin and I was like, dude, you guys are nuts.
Yeah.
This is crazy. People look at us like, man, the things you guys do is so reckless. But I was like, I feel like I'm that guy watching you guys right now. Like, you need to be careful.
Yeah, so we left there with quite an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it was cool. That was fun. Besides me and Micah got, I don't know.
Well,
You can say it.
basically, when we were ziplining, to add to the chaos, Ethan's dog like tries to attack you.
He doesn't like
He
people
doesn't
ziplining.
like, yeah, it was super weird because I have a video of it, but I was like, hey, Bjorn, can Ben zipline? Because he's like sitting there barking at him, and then Ben goes and he literally like jumps and tries to like attack him. Not like
It's like this
to hurt
furry
him,
little
but
dog, too.
It's a bear looking thing.
Yeah.
He bit you.
Yeah.
Bites me, drew blood. I was pretty worried.
Yeah.
That's when I decided I didn't want to zip line. I was like, I'm good.
Well,
Did it
seriously,
hurt when
like-
he bit you?
Yeah.
I've never been bitten by like a full size dog. I can't imagine it feels good.
Dude, because those teeth,
Yeah.
they're just
No,
hard.
it didn't feel good at all.
It's like a gnarly bite mark too. It's on your guys' thigh. Obviously, I don't know if you can show it on camera, but
I didn't really think much of it until I got home, and my mom was like, you could have rabies. I was like, is that bad? She was like, you can't get rid of rabies. Like, there's like no treatment, or maybe there is,
I
but
didn't
it's
know
like
that.
it sticks with you. It's like Lyme's disease.
jeez.
And I was like, oh, shit.
I didn't know rabies was an
I-
STD, bro. Like, well, it's obviously not.
You think
sexually
Lyme's
transmitted.
disease is an STD?
No, but like, I didn't know you couldn't get rid of it. I didn't know it was like
Any disease you can't get rid of is an
an
STD.
STD.
Actually?
No.
Oh.
I didn't know the right term. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. But yeah, I didn't know that. Rabies stick with you like your whole life, huh? No treatment.
I don't know. So I was tweaking a little bit for a couple days there, but Edwin was like, oh, no, it's got its shots and everything. You're good. I was like, all right.
Were they apologetic when the dog bit, or
No,
like,
Ethan,
he does that?
Yeah,
evil
yeah,
laughs
that's what
like,
he
oh, Bjorn.
Bro, I mean, granted, he didn't bite you super hard where you like needed to go to the hospital or
really?
anything, but I was more worried about him making Ben fall off.
Yeah, because I was in the middle of I was at
cruising.
the beginning of the zip line just before like the cliff or the drop off. So then I get to the other side, right? And Bjorn, while I was going, he was like, I'm hunting this guy down, right? So he is trucking through the ravine, and I get to the tree, and I like take my hands off, and I'm standing there, and Bjorn just like coming barreling up this hill, and I'm like shitting my pants. I'm just standing there like ready to, honestly, I was ready to just punt this thing. Because I was like, dude, he's coming in for seconds. He's coming in to finish the job, right? So he comes up like full speed, jumps at me, and then just was like back to being like a playful dog. And I was like, oh my God.
Then you had to hook up to, you have to like unhook.
Scared, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I was terrified.
Hook up to the other
Yeah.
zip line to zip line back across. And you
Yeah.
have to do it
I was
all
like,
over
oh
again.
God, here we go again. Yeah.
Man,
and then Mike went and he did the same thing to Mike. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, at least it's not personal.
it was weird though. It's only zip lining, just the nicest dog. Yeah.
I think we do actually.
Good.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
We got some footage. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, CJ, how's it feel over there?
Honestly, pretty good. I might move my spot over here. This is kind of nice.
I
this.
like it
I
over
like
here,
this
too.
side better.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna stay here from now on.
This spot does actually feel pretty nice.
Yeah.
I like
I'm gonna
this.
be sitting there
Huh?
next time.
What do you mean? What?
Just kidding. You were like, what? What?
This is the CJ hot seat. You know, we want to make you feel comfortable. Ken, bring in the drinks.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Okay,
2
so I
minutes?
was gonna say.
Didn't you prep?
So CJ, I have never truly seen you. Whenever you're drinking a beermosa, you're in just a chipper mood. It's like almost comical. Like if you have a beermosa in your hand, you're like, just beer and OJ, you know.
Okay.
I feel like the king of the world right now. Like
I think I'm just happy because normally if I'm drinking a beer most, that means I don't have to do like that much like important stuff that day. So it's like a day off.
Yeah, there's something nice
You know?
about that. Starting the day off, just like, man, this is a chill day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I always have something I need to do, but like it's something that it's not necessarily super important. Honestly, I wasn't planning on drinking for this.
too bad.
I mean, I guess I'll have one, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I just want to be on
If
my
you don't
A
want
game.
to, we don't have to.
No, I still will.
Okay.
Well, what the fuck? Why is this such a big deal? What's going on
We
over
didn't.
there?
We didn't mean for
Just
it to be a
because
big deal.
you're the guy who loves beer most.
I know, but like, what's
deal.
this thing? Like, Ken had to leave the other room.
Well,
like,
Man,
what is-
bro, CJ isn't even in this hot seat yet. And he's already nervous. We haven't even done
He's
anything.
gonna like come out with a paintball gun or something. I don't know.
That'd be great.
Can you
That'd be fun.
imagine?
Yeah.
Just shoot. If
Do
Ken
it.
shooting, I would need like eye
I would-
protection.
I would
because
need to get down.
honestly. Tint and Mark over there would have to be ready because who knows where those things are going.
Oh,
Might hold
man.
the gun wrong. I don't know.
I actually don't know why he went in yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a little curious myself.
It's just a big buildup for a beer most. That's all. But
Yeah.
whatever. We don't.
Well,
know.
it was supposed to be like Ken bring in the drinks, and then he
Yeah.
would bring in the
That'd be
drinks, and I
dope,
would be like,
yeah.
"You love beer mosas."
I do
Oh.
love beer mosas. Thank you guys.
Ken, you were kind of supposed to have him prepped here.
Yeah.
What the fuck have you been doing back there?
I give
We can
Ken
just
just
make
one
him-
instruction. Hey, Ken, can you just prep some beer mosas for us?
That is true though. I do like beer mosas.
CJ's getting excited thinking about it. The anticipation's building
I've
up.
turned a lot of people on.
You
to
really
them.
have. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, okay, so you're the last C-boy to be in the hot seat. Is it feeling hot?
Yeah.
Pretty hot.
Yeah, it feels good.
I feel like everybody else has gotten off pretty easy.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. Is everyone got off pretty easy, not too grilled. You know, going into it, it's like, well, shit, I'm gonna have the other guys just like hitting me with the hard truths. You know,
I think, no offense to you guys, maybe this is more of a hit at myself, but I feel like there's way more things to go in on me than anyone else.
you
like-
said it, not me.
Yeah, I obviously have
Oh,
way
Jamie.
more. I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
I feel like I've had a lot more like. I don't know
Thank you,
how I should
sir.
say it.
CJ gets.
See
What-
what I'm saying? I knew there was something to this.
You didn't want one.
It's gonna be like a big ass fucking thing.
Said
I'm not
what?
dumb.
No, I mean, I somewhat agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I have a lot more weird things about me than actually. I have significantly more weird things about me than you guys.
All right, let's
Maybe
just,
Mike is the next closest.
we'll just start then. We'll just
oh,
start.
and Ken's kind of weird too, but it's
Ken's
wow.
pretty weird.
I think we're
That's
all
pretty
pretty
sweet.
weird.
Thank you.
But I think
Whoa, holy
we,
shit,
as
Ken.
far as like opinions, yours differ from ours a little more. Gosh,
Okay,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
that's-
no. That's why I said like I'm excited to
polarizing.
like, dive
Mm-hmm.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good way to put it. But let me just start with this. All right, for somebody who has such a strong gut, you know, you once you have an opinion on something, you stick to it. And most of the time, right? And it's one of your strongest qualities, I would say. You know, you can always like, I don't really question it. If you got a bad feeling on it, I usually go with it. You know, I trust your gut too. Why is it that one of the most strong-minded people I know you can't even decide what you're gonna eat when we go out to dinner. You switch up on like the waitress like 4 times before you finally order. Like you are so indecisive. Like what
about certain things.
Where does this fine line
I think I
drawn in the
overthink.
sand of like but you don't overthink on certain things, like, you know, spending a bunch of money on this house that you guys might see soon, right? Like it was like a very easy decision, right? But then going out to dinner, it's like you give this dude an extra 20 minutes just to figure out what he's gonna order.
There's a lot of choices.
Where does that? Yeah, but what do you think?
What do you mean? What do I think?
Like what? Why do you do that?
I want to make the right choice. Because have you ever ordered something and fucking you get it and you're like, God damn it, why didn't I get this? That happens to me all the time.
But I think you're right. It maybe does come down to overthinking then. Cause,
Yeah, but I do
CJ
definitely
has buyer's
overthink.
remorse more often than anyone I know as well.
I do.
Yeah, but why do you have buyer's remorse on certain things but not on others? Like where's like
Well,
usually
most-
people are just like, no, they just stick to it. But it's like you're so black or you're so white.
I don't know. I guess the only time I have buyer's remorse is when I don't like something that I buy. Like, what's something I have buyer's remorse on? I'm pretty smart, I think. Most of the things I like to think I make a lot of good decisions. But
You definitely like think a lot. Like how about like for example for your wheels, you
that's
looked,
true.
you looked. You ended up getting almost the
I
same
like
wheels.
looked, but honestly, I didn't spend that much time looking. It's when I don't think about what I do. That's why I make sure I think and like make the right choice. Because I didn't think that deeply on my wheels. Honestly, I was looking GTR wheels and like, I'm not trying to brag, but I feel like I'm a pretty busy guy. I have to do things quick. I didn't want to
I
spend.
don't think that's a flex.
I didn't want to spend fucking 2 weeks or a month browsing around the internet like, oh, what wheels should I get? And then you have to see if you can get them in the right size. Because fitment is almost more, it's as important as having a good looking wheel. If you have the coolest looking wheel, but it doesn't like fit flush with the car when it's like lowered, it's not going to look good.
Right.
So I fucking typed in Nissan GTR. Like I'm looking at all these wheels and I saw this video of those exact wheels on my car.
Yep.
So then I went to Fitment Industries and I was trying to fucking find them. Well, actually there was a couple of them, but Fitment Industries doesn't carry like super expensive wheels.
Right. Yep.
So these were like the only ones. They actually didn't even carry those ones in the size that I needed, but I was able to like use our Fitment Industry points and talk to Vossen, and I had to have them custom made. And the reason why I did those wheels is because they were like, these wheels fit, and this is the spec size we use with these springs for this fitment. So it just made it easy, and that's why I got those wheels. But yes, I didn't think that much about them, and that's why I immediately had like the remorse. I was like, fuck, why didn't I get a different color? Because I literally made the decision like this.
That is the hard part about the busier you get, the faster you have to make decisions.
So to answer your question, the reason why I overthink things is because when I don't think about them, then I regret them. So there you go.
That was actually a very long explanation, but well worded. Yeah.
I guess I had some evidence to back there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's why I overthink things. I try not to overthink things, but I'm always thinking.
Do you think there is something to be said about people that don't overthink or don't think into things enough, that it's just like not as effective? Like, where do you think? So, like, obviously,
I've thought about this for a long time.
If you overthink things, it's you're
It's
just
good and bad.
It's
You
good
know,
and
no,
bad,
it's
right?
what
But if you underthink things, then
good
it's
and bad.
good
No,
and bad.
so
right?
I actually have a theory on this because I came up with this theory, 5 years ago, actually, maybe 6. So it's like, if you don't think about things, it seems like you're really happy in the present and you're just doing whatever, but it always does come around to bite you eventually.
But do you think that the people that don't think about things also, when it does come around to bite them, they don't think about it biting them, where they're just like,
I think
it is
once
what it is.
once something to a certain scale happens, then they think about it.
Makes you
But
reflect.
no, I think you'll be happier in the present, but long term it doesn't help you as well.
Interesting.
Like it's like the kids in high school that just fucking were out like smoking weed during during school, like on break and shit. Like they're fucking happy, or they're not doing their homework, or they're not doing the things they're supposed to be doing. You're less stressed, You don't give a fuck about grades. They're less stressed. They're having a great time. But there's always a price to pay. There is.
Yeah.
And that comes back around later when they fucking can't get into college, or, I mean, college doesn't really matter, but they're just fucking dumb. And now they're at a disadvantage in life.
That's very true.
So yeah, so if you're thinking a lot, you'll be happy. You're not necessarily at peak happiness in the present time, but in the long run, you're gonna be way happier.
I think, yeah.
Your thought,
You could
because
get lucky,
your
though.
processes is thought out.
I think you could get lucky, though, and just, like, not have any repercussions, and it's like gambling, basically.
I think it's your environment that you're surrounded by. It's like, well, if you think a lot, then other people in the group don't necessarily have to think a lot about certain things, and they can, you can
get
their
carried
time and get carried. But it's like, if everyone in the group thought a lot, I don't know if that would
it wouldn't be good.
help us more, because it's like anything that's successful has to have a balance, right?
Right.
And it's like if our group as a whole dynamic is going to be successful, well, it can't all have like the same personality trait or, everyone being the same, right? So I think it is good to have the balance of you thinking a lot and Micah not thinking at all. No offense, Mike.
Yeah.
But I'm just using you as
I
an
guess I
example,
do. I mean, I do overthink things. Like when we do the merch fucking presentation and we decide what we want to keep, what we don't want to keep, I like look into everything so deep. Like I'm always like, how is this going to look to that person? Like, what does this resonate with them? Like I'm always just, and I do that a lot with like thumbnails. I also do that a lot with like editing, because like we might mean something totally different, but then when you watch it, if you put yourself in the shoes of someone viewing it and they've never even, this is the first video they've ever watched, it's like, how does this look to them? I think about that too.
Yeah.
But also, I am terrible at thinking about how I act probably a lot of the time, like just normal. I feel like I probably make bad impressions out the gate.
I feel like you're hard on yourself for that.
Maybe.
Like you definitely self-reflect a lot about how you not only like portray yourself, but how you act.
I do, yeah. Like I'll like go home and be like, fuck, like I'll be like, we'll like come home from eating and like I'll be asking Alex, like, when I said this, like, was that bad? Like, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're so sure of certain moves, and then you're like in your head thinking about it, and it's like what's done is done. Like what is?
Yeah. Then I just tell myself, fuck it, can't change it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess if I have the time, I want to make sure it's the right choice.
Yeah.
But also you have to make the decision. You can't spend all fucking day thinking about it. I mean,
Yeah.
you can.
Each word you're gonna
Depends.
say. Back
Sorry.
to a little bit what you're going to say earlier when you were like, you're thinking about in thumbnails and videos and stuff like that, how other people like see it. I feel like you've always, ever since I first met you, you've had like your finger on the pulse of like what a large group of people like. You're very good at like seeing what people want to see and how they want to see it and like what's going to happen. Like I've always given you really good, or tried to give you good credit for that. Been like, yeah, CJ understands like what people want.
Yeah, like extreme foresight.
I think,
Yeah.
I guess I did. I will agree with that, especially when we were young, because like when we started hanging out, let's say like really, really hanging out, like 8th, 9th grade, you went to like your small private school. You were relatively sheltered, and you lived out here, and I had been going to like a public school in Fargo where like you're just exposed to fucking pretty much everything, like there's a lot of stuff going on there. And I don't know, I just had seen a lot of shit. Been around a lot of shit at the time, more than you.
Dude, when we first started hanging out, I looked at you as like a god.
What the hell happened?
I grew up.
It's like, I got to know you.
I realized you were just
No,
an idiot.
I like based my entire young adult life. Like CJ would do something like, CJ is the coolest kid I know. Like I got to be more like CJ.
I was just advanced over you.
You were yeah.
I just
like,
had
CJ been up in the streets,
yeah.
not like, that, but like I don't know. I just like
Yeah.
fucking.
No, I remember one time you came, you picked me up in the boat, and you're like, yeah, let's go surfing. And you came and you drove over like in your boat, and I was like, damn, CJ gets to drive the boat. And you had like a girl with you, like one of our friends that lived on the lake, and I was like, holy shit, there's a girl on the boat. Like CJ knows how to talk to a girl. You can hang out with
It
them.
really wasn't too hard to be advanced over you at the
No,
time.
dude, I was like a child. I was like a child.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, damn,
Yeah, I feel
CJ
like
is the cool guy.
I had it going on back then. I mean, I'd still have it going on now, but if I didn't like carry that same trajectory,
Yeah, I was
cool
gonna
guy.
ask, do you? I don't want to say, do you think you peaked, but do you think that you capitalized?
I definitely didn't peak, but
no. But do you think you capitalized on your like high school experience? Like, do you think you like maximized the amount of fun
dude.
that you could have had?
I had a great time in
If
high school.
if I think
I
of
was
someone,
a maniac.
If I think of
was
someone
fun.
who just like
But it was
did
like-
all the things that you could do in high school,
I was
think it's
pretty
CJ.
lucky in high school because like I was like a cool kid. I was like popular. For some reason, all the girls liked me. I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but this is just how it was.
Dude,
it was great.
Never closed the yearbook.
I don't talk, dude. I don't talk about high school at all. You guys
No,
know
I'm
the-
kidding. I'm
But
joking.
then on the vice versa, fucking had a terrible college experience. Like had a terrible like 2-3 years after high school. So I mean, look at that.
It's interesting to hear that. You know, you'll get a lot of people that are like, "Oh yeah, the cool kids will roll into college and they're just a nobody." But it's not like it's
not
not
always.
like well, yeah, but I'm saying it's not like you were necessarily upset about that either. You went
didn't
in
give a
college,
fuck,
yeah.
no.
You weren't like, "Oh, I don't have
I
any
guess
friends."
I mean
like-
that was like a result of like something else, which
Yeah.
we'll get into later. But no, speaking of like close the yearbook, dude, I never fucking look back on high school or anything for that matter. I don't scroll back and look at my pictures. I don't have time hop. I don't like being reminded of things because it's all just pointless. Like I don't care about that shit. It already happened.
Yeah.
It's time to move on. You gotta look forward. Like a lot of people like fucking like go back and like look at their pictures and like old videos on their phone from like fucking just some random
Well, I do that
thing.
for like entertainment.
Yeah, see,
but
I don't do that at all because
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I mean, I used to all the time, but like, I don't want to like look at that and be like, oh, like that was like so fun. Like, I wish it was like that then, but like, it's done. You gotta move
Yeah.
on, dude. Doesn't matter. Also, I think a big part of that is being that. So like, I don't take pictures on my phone ever because I know I'm not gonna look at them. I don't take like videos.
Dude,
And the only
It's an
time
interesting take.
the only
That is
time
an
I take
interesting take and so true.
the only time I take pictures or videos is for like
The channel.
posting.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think that also is maybe like I realized that probably 3-4 years ago, and I started doing that. But yeah, I just don't give a fuck like about looking back on the past unless you're like reflecting to learn something. There's really no point.
Yeah.
You ever watch our old videos?
No,
I don't either.
I mean, I really don't either. When someone looks back, or when they were like summer of 16, we're never gonna top that. I hate that
Dumb as
energy.
fuck.
I
That's a
hate that.
terrible
yeah, it's
mindset.
terrible energy.
Because-
exactly.
yeah, because
or
I'm
like,
like-
when they're like, "Oh, we're peaking right now." Like,
Or-
why would you say that? Like
Yeah.
when people
Yeah.
go like, "Oh man, like this is the like it's all downhill for me." Like, why would you know like peak when people refer to like we're peaking? It's like you're at the top of the mountain now. It's like you
I
know.
don't think anyone actually like says that.
I remember in
I
high
think a
school,
lot of people
I remember
think
in
that.
high school, like I played hockey, and like a lot of like the guys would be like, "Oh, we're like peaking right now. Like this is the peak. Like you
Yeah, it was
know,
the peak of the
like-
night, the
like,
peak of the
you know, like
weekend.
this is the peak. Like senior year. Like I don't fucking know. I didn't like that.
Can you imagine going back, like looking at yourself back in senior year of high school and being like, man,
Yeah.
enjoy it now because it's all downhill from here. Like, how
Yeah.
depressing.
For
that
most
would
people,
be.
that'd be very depressing. Yeah.
like how young you are
yeah.
in high school, and then just like, dude,
Right.
I don't even. I barely remember senior year of high school,
Same.
and like, I
Yeah.
can't imagine it being like the peak.
I literally have to like dig deep to like remember some of these things because a lot of things I just pretty much erase in my mind. Like
Happens
memories
and
like
it's
that.
done. Well, I mean, the thing about
Especially bad
us
ones.
is we are, especially when we're trying to produce like 2 videos a week, we don't have time
Just go.
to look
to
back.
look back. Like dude, I have to think like, what did we even do the video before the one we
Right.
posted?
I do reflect. We were talking about, do I watch old videos? I always watch the latest video. Like I'll watch it like 2-3 times.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe 4. And like I watch it just to like see like how did it turn out? Like should I have changed this? Like I reflect and then I move forward. Like when we went reckless golfing, I went and watched the old reckless golfing.
Yeah.
Just because I was curious, like what do we all do? Like how'd it look? Like just so I was prepared. But no, I don't watch like old ones.
Yeah.
I just wanted to correct that.
And you watch it on like different screens. Like you'll watch
Yeah.
on your phone, and then you'll watch on the computer, and then you watch on the TV.
because I want to hear all the audio sounds.
Yeah, on every different type of device and like experience of it.
Because if you watch it on TV, normally the subwoofer, like kind of overrides during like certain
Voices.
songs. It'll override the voice. But if you watch on like a phone, it'll sound like perfect. And then I also listen to it with headphones on. But I do that normally like during editing. I'll do like computer speakers, and then I also do headphones.
Yeah. All right, guys, breaking the podcast today to mention a word from our sponsor, Raycon earbuds. There's so much going on in the world right now, whether it's stuff you're excited about or stuff you'd rather not think about. You can't always control the vibes out there, but you can control the vibes in your head with a pair of Raycon wireless earbuds in your ears. Whether you use them to pump up, wind down, work, or work out, Raycons are my go-to for on-the-go audio. And now, the everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. With an improved rubber oil look and feel and optimized gel tip for the perfect in-ear fit, they're impressive before you even start listening. You can get 3 new sound profiles to make sure everything you're listening to sounds the best with just the right amount of bass. There's also an all-new awareness mode that makes it easy to listen to your surroundings while still wearing your earbuds. Raycon offers 8 hours of playtime and 32 hours of battery life. There's also a built-in mic so you can take calls on your earbuds at the press of a button. Raycon starts at half the price of other premium audio brands, but they sound just as good. And they come with a 45-day happiness guarantee, so you've got nothing to worry about if you don't absolutely love them. Right now, the Life Wide Open listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/wideopen. That's buyraycon.com/wideopen to save 15% off your Raycon order. buyraycon.com/wideopen. Thank you, Raycon, for being a sponsor in today's episode. Now back to the podcast. Going back to like you overthinking things, like that's one of the benefits.
It's probably a form of like OCD
of
for sure.
overthinking it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, yeah, if you pay attention to the fine details of it, or you're like, you know, constantly being your biggest critic in a way of reflecting versus reflecting on like the good times versus how could I make those times better to better yourself.
Yeah, you're like you have like subconscious quality control. Like you don't think necessarily about doing it, you're just doing it.
Yeah.
And
It's like certain things though,
Yeah.
because other things I'm like I don't like, I have to care about it obviously, but yeah.
All right, so basically the reason we're sitting here today and everything that's been created in the past 6 years is due to the effect of like one of the worst things that's ever happened to you.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to just like completely dive into, you know, what happened that, you know, basically altered your life completely and has led us here today, but like the lowest point of your entire life. Like start from the very beginning of like the very first time that you had like a brain injury.
Well, fuck, dude. I literally, if people think I was reckless, like on videos, which I'm really not. I'm probably like the most tame, just because I try to be careful, like protect my head. But like, dude, when I was a little kid, like I was always just like riding dirt bikes. Like I was pretty crazy. Like I would normally be the one to like hit the jump first, or like I was into skateboarding, and obviously I played like hockey and football and stuff. I've had so many concussions. It's like terrible. Like I don't even know how many. And I remember like getting them back when I was a kid. I would like get them, and like they weren't like as known or like prominent back then. Like you didn't know the effects, and like obviously my parents didn't either. And like just going back and playing, or like just going on with like my day. Like I remember one time I got like hit in hockey super bad. It was in like 8th grade. I got like, I don't know if I got knocked out. I can't remember. But anyways, we had the school dance like that night after the game. It was like a game, and then there's like school dance. And like I remember feeling like shit, but I didn't want to miss school dance, and like I just like sucked it up, and like I was like telling my parents, but like it was such like no one thought anything of concussions. Maybe we just didn't know, but at least there where we're like, oh, just suck it up and go to like the dance. I would never tell someone with a concussion now to go to a fucking dance with disco balls and lights flashing around and loud music. That'd be the worst, dumbest thing you can do. I've had so many, but none of them were like, I'd say like bad. Like it was like it lasted maybe like a day or two, and you just were fine. The one that actually like really changed my life, it was senior year, and we were playing. It was like the very first like exhibition game of like the year, and I don't know what. I got like a bad pass, and this kid like just hit me. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but he hit me and like full speed, and I flew back, but there was like a gap between me and like the wall of the boards, and it was like a really hard wall. Like some boards in hockey arenas, like they have a little bit of give to them, but this one was like, I don't know why, it was fucking rock hard. And I just fucking flew back, and it was like the perfect distance where like I went and hit like the back of my head on the board, and like I like fucking lawn chaired, I guess people said. Like it was terrible. It was really nasty. Like what I remember of it is like I was laying on the ice, and like I literally heard like it sounded like a dial-up internet noise, dude. That's like the sound I was like hearing. And then like I couldn't, like my whole body, like it was like a wave. It was like it felt like I literally just decreased so much, like slowed down. I couldn't like move like my legs or like my like anything for like a second or two. I don't know exactly how long. And then like this one dude was like trying to help me like get back up, and I was like trying, but like fucking couldn't. I was falling over the damn place. And then like eventually I got up and like went and like got to the bench. Also, the team we were playing was like Sartell. So if anyone fucking knows who the guy is, Sartell. Honestly, like I'm not mad. It ended up working out great for me, but Sartell 2015. Wait, it would have been 2014. It was in November, and it happened in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. It was an exhibition game against Davies Hockey. Some fucking big ass kid hit me, and I hit my head on the boards, fucked me up. Still fucking have problems with it from today to today. But I'm like curious who that guy is. Anyways, yeah, so that happened, and like it like really, really fucked me up. I was like out for, I don't know, like weeks, obviously. But like after like a certain amount of weeks, this still was like at a time when like concussions weren't publicly known that they're really bad. Like it was just on like the cusp, I feel like, of it like kind of becoming very known. Anyways, so like a week or two went by, and like you know how it is, like everyone's like, oh, you got that concussion, like, you know, whatever. Like didn't take it very seriously. I sucked after I came back from it, but at the time I was probably one of the better players on the team. So like everyone wanted me to come back, and like it was like I was like being pressured by like certain players on the team, like to come back, and like some people would like call me a pussy and shit like that, and like I don't know, it was just a lot, and I didn't feel good though. So like my head hurt, like when I touch it, like my skull, it literally fucking would hurt. Like I couldn't rest my head on the back of like a car. Like if I was riding a car, I couldn't have my head like leaning on the car seat when we were driving, because that would fucking hurt. Like it just hurt. And like I was super dizzy. I couldn't like see straight. Just nauseous, shit like that. I'm like trying to gather my thoughts and like put this in a straight line, because I've literally like tried to like pretty much erase it. I don't like thinking about it at all.
What were you doing in those weeks after the concussion?
Like I was doing what they were telling me to do.
But what were you like? What
I was just nervous. Like I wanted to get back, because it was like I had worked so hard, and I was like finally like the first line like starter like of the team, and I was like gonna do good. Like I wanted to do good. At the time, like it always seems like in high school that was like the most important thing, like, you know, playing hockey or whatever.
Right. After the concussion though, like besides for it hurting on the back, did you have any other symptoms?
It constantly hurt. I was like dizzy. It just didn't feel right. I did not feel right. That's all I really remember, is I really did not feel right. And I would like tell the athletic trainer, like I don't feel right, you know? And he was like the only person that was like actually on my side. I felt like he was like, I don't even remember his name. I think his name was Scott. He's a man. Anyways, he was like, well then you're not ready. Like he wouldn't even bother like running tests. He's like, I'd come out and say like, I don't like feel right. He'd ask me how I feel today. I'd have to do it every day. And I was like, I don't know, something's wrong. Like I don't feel right. Anyways, like I don't know how long went by, like 3 weeks, maybe a month, and then it was like so bad. Like I just remember like people fucking like really pressuring me to like come back. If I could go back in time, I would have just literally quit the team right there and just like stayed away from everyone. Like that would have been the smart thing to do. But you know,
I think that's an interesting take. Is like in your case, you're very good, and you felt pressure on yourself to want to go back, and your teammates and coach, I'm sure, were like, I hope he gets back.
I don't really want to say the coaches. Like,
okay, well, the teammates.
They didn't do that.
But I'm just saying, like, let's say you have a dad,
and it wasn't all teammates, just like a few kids. And
Okay.
honestly, like I don't hold any grudges against them because like they were just dumb fucking high school kids anyway.
It could happen like a lot. You know, you
Yeah.
get an injury and you have like a dad who like undermines the injury and is like, I want you to keep
Right.
playing soon.
But yeah, so like, yeah, I just felt like I didn't feel right. But after like a certain amount of time, I was like kind of like getting mad at myself because I was like, God, like, what is wrong? Like, why am I being a pussy? Because I'd like to say I was pretty tough. And like I remember like my dad was just like, I think you just need to like get back and like get playing. Because I think maybe he was thinking like that I was just overthinking it like I do. And once I got going, I'd be okay. So anyways, like I had to go through all these tests or whatever, you know, just normal concussion protocol. But I remember like, this is not right. Like when I'd like ride the bike or run, like it didn't feel right. Anyways, I came back too soon, fucking played the rest of the year. And like, I remember like I'd get like hit and I'd get very like rattled easily. Like I would get dizzy but I'd normally bounce back relatively quick. But my head hurt and I always have headaches. And then, so I graduate high school, and we're out, you know, doing the things we normally would do, like wakeboarding. Ben and I were like really good at wakeboarding. I don't want to say really good, but we were like pretty good. Like we'd do
Doing
flips.
tricks.
We would get big air. Like we were good. Anyways, I was trying like a new trick and, I don't know. I just crashed. And when you crash wakeboarding, although it is in water, you're going like 21.3 was the speed that we always went at, 21.3 miles an hour. And if you're like fucking 10 feet in the air going that fast and you land and your board catches its edge, it slams you so hard that the water's like fucking cement. It's why no one wakeboards anymore. But fucking did that, hit my head, and like I was just not right.
Back of your head came
Yeah.
down.
Oh,
Boom,
that,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Same place you got your other
And
mate
yeah,
from.
it was like the same spot.
Yeah.
So then I was like, God. So I
But
just
you
thought
knew,
I had
when that happened, you knew it was bad news. Or
I just
no?
thought I had another concussion, and I had been through so many. And also at the time, I was thinking to myself, like, that wasn't as hard as the hit. Like the way that I thought of concussions was like the harder you got hit, the probably the worse the concussion would be. But that's not true at all. You could get fucking, you know, something light and still have one that's worse than the other. You know, they're all different.
So
But
for people that don't know exactly what a concussion, like how to cause a concussion, to my understanding, it's basically
it's your brain
any-
rattling in your skull.
right. So do you think that there's like certain things that keep your brain from moving that, and then
It
the
just
more
depends.
that you got hit, it was just like it was looser in there, or
No.
How
I
does
think
that work?
The thing is, like, the more you have, I think the easier it is to get them. And, like, especially in my case, I never fully recovered from the one that was really bad
Right.
due to coming back so early. And who knows if I ever would have recovered from that. But I never fully recovered, so I was just, like, weak. And I was already, like, injured. And then I fucking did something that injured it worse. It was something that was already bad, and I hit it again and made it really bad.
Yeah.
So that I didn't think anything of it though at the time. I was like, fuck, like, I'll, you know, take it easy for like a week or two. At the time, I was like, I don't have any like sports or anything I need to do. I just don't go wakeboarding or dirt biking, shit like that. Crazy for a little bit, but it just never fucking went away. And it was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. Now college is coming up. I got to go to my dorm, but I feel like shit. Like I felt terrible. I should mention that I had like nausea and I felt like I was moving all the time. And, I had like, after like, I had really bad like anxiety and like, I was very depressed, but the depression, I think, came more so it got worse the longer it went by. Cause like at first I just, you know, you had hope, but like, it kind of seemed like I was like losing hope the longer it went and the sadder I would get. And I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't work out because I'd get super nauseous to the point where like I would literally have to just lay on the floor and like look at the ceiling and like you just constantly, it's like being on a boat, kind of what it felt like. And like my eyes would go like this. It felt like, so when I closed, I'd still feel like that. I'm trying to like
doing anything for like treatment at the time?
No, I mean I didn't really know there was anything to do about it. So like I just wasn't drinking. I wasn't like working out, because back then they thought like working out was really bad if you had a concussion. Like you weren't supposed to have blood flow, which I nowadays personally feel the opposite towards. We can get into that later. I'm sorry, this is so all over, but I'm just trying to like
no, it's good.
I'm trying to like gather my thoughts, I guess.
It was a big part, and it was a long part of your life. So to like sum up all of those events,
yeah, I've like really done a good job of like fucking erasing it from my memory, because it was such a terrible time. But anyways, so I go to college. I couldn't do anything at college because I felt like shit. Felt like I was moving. Felt like I was gonna throw up all the time, and I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't watch TV because that would make it worse. I couldn't go on my phone because that would make it worse. So like I would do pretty much nothing. I'd maybe like talk with friends when they weren't doing anything. Like I'd try to like hang with them and talk. But and then on top of that, we were like trying this weird thing with my diet where like I wouldn't eat gluten because they were thinking like, well, maybe like you have a gluten allergy, so like that might help. Or like, and then you erase sugar and like milk. So I couldn't even eat good food at the time, and that's probably like one of like the biggest moments in my, like one of my favorite things to do is fucking eat.
Yeah.
I just love eating. Basically, I just go through the whole college year feeling like shit, sleep in this little shitty ass dorm, not able to do anything. And like I didn't make any new friends because I couldn't do anything. I obviously had Ryan, which was great, but
I was busy with...
You were busy. Ryan was very popular in college. Isn't that funny how things work? I was the fucking like star in high school. College, fucking shit. There's always a price to pay, man. There's positives and negatives. It was my time to get a negative. You fucking maybe had not a great high school, but then college was great. You know, it's always it's a balance.
Yeah.
With everything. Like Ryan was great, dude. Thank God I had Ryan, because like I would hang out with him as much as we could. We'd go eat. Same with Justin. Justin was great. And there was like a few other guys that were really nice, but like I mean we didn't do anything much other than just maybe a chill. But yeah, I was just super, super depressed, super sad. Couldn't do anything. I was basically like, I mean, I just couldn't do anything. Like I was disabled, literally. Because if I tried to do anything, I would fucking get like really disabled. Like it would shake, it would like stir me up so much that I'd have to like literally fucking lay on my floor for like 2 days to like get it to settle down.
Could you
like,
sleep?
Not really, because if I would sleep, it was like I'd like lay on my side and like fucking it just feel like you're falling. And then like if you like, so like you'd try not to like move too much, because once you like somewhat got settled, it would be a little easier. Yeah, I don't know. It was terrible, man. So like during that time though, I was so sad, and I was planning on going to school to become a chiropractor, but it felt like to me at the time, every time I got an adjustment, like if it would like make me feel worse, which like they kind of later realized, like, since I felt like I was moving so much, this is probably too technical. But like my muscles in my neck were super stiff to try to like stabilize my head, because my brain was like telling me that it was moving.
Your
and
head was moving.
It was like, so it was super stiff. And when you'd get an adjustment, they would like basically loosen that up, which, because normally you wouldn't want that. And it would make me feel worse. So I wanted to be a chiropractor. I was going to school to be a chiropractor. And I was like, well, how am I going to be a chiropractor if I literally can't even get an adjustment? And that's when I was like, fuck, like I was kind of thinking like, I think I might be like this. I'm going to try, but like, this might be how it's going to be forever. And like, that's when you really start to like, you know,
Getting a low slump.
And when you lose hope, that's like the worst. And that's when I was like, there's not really any point in me going to school, because like, I don't know. At that point in my life, I kind of thought like, I'll just be kind of like a person that just tries to get by, maybe, you know, like I just work at, like I remember I was gonna just like get a job at like this shoe place in the mall, because like I couldn't really do anything. So that's like I dropped out of college and I was gonna do that. But I remember being so nervous about working there because I'd have to bend down to like pick up the shoes, and like when I'd like bend down like and like moving my head, I'd get super dizzy. But I remember I had to get a job, so I was like, fuck, like guess I'll just suck it up. I don't know. I was kind of just thinking I was just grind it out for as long as I could. But I ended up getting a job at this gym, which was great.
Do you remember back then feeling like you couldn't talk about it?
Yeah, I really couldn't because no one understood. But then I actually found a neurological doctor. Her name is Ayla Smith, Dr. Ayla Smith. She's a place in Fargo now. I'm going to backtrack, actually. So I'm in college, and I fucking feel like shit. I can't do anything. I'm very depressed. I'm very sad. I kind of come to the realization I'm not going to be able to be a chiropractor, so I stopped going to school. I'm also thinking at the time, like, I'm also thinking at the time that, like, realistically, like, I'm probably not going to, like, just keep living this way forever because, like, I was just miserable, and there's not really any point. So, like, I'm not going to waste time and money at college. During that time, then, my dad, like, found this neurochiropractor. She's, like, more, I'd say, like, is like a neurologist. And they had this thing called functional neurology, which is, like, a program for people like me that had, like, really bad brain trauma. And they would, like, retrain your eyes. And you do, like, all these, like, exercises and stuff where you'd just fucking, like, do therapy to try and, like, get you back to doing things. And
Deep breath.
Yeah, bro, you're good.
it's just it's really hard to talk about because like I was saying earlier, I just have really, like, taken this part out of, like, my memory. Yeah. It's just a really hard time. Just 1 second here.
Want to cut?
Oh, okay, just 1 second here.
Dude, I'm such a crier.
So anyways, like, I fucking do these therapy protocol things, exercises to, like, try and retrain my eyes and brain and listen to this lady. Like, I'm fucking doing them like my life depended on it, which it kind of did, to try and, like, get myself to be able to, like, go back into society and, like, do things. I just wanted to be able to do things, like, just a few things, you know? Like, I really wanted to work out because I loved working out, but I couldn't work out because every time I'd work out, it'd make me worse, feel worse. So anyways, like, I followed, like, her instructions, did that for, like, a couple months or so, and I started, like, getting a little better. And it was, like, so nice for me because it gave me, like, some hope. And she was like, I want you, like, to try and start, like, exercising again, but we have to, like, do it slow. So, like, I would ride this stationary bike, and, like, I remember, like, I'd start out, like, I literally could only ride on it for, like, fucking 1 minute because then it would, like, make me worse. So, like, I would ride on it for a minute, and then I'd have to take, like, a couple days off, and then, like, I basically just slowly built it back up. And then pretty soon I was able to, like, ride on it for 25 minutes after a really long time of slowly building your blocks up, you know, to get better. It's like anything, recovering from, you know, any kind of injury. Yeah, then I was able to start lifting again. And at that time, I had just started working at a gym. It was in Fargo, Quartz Plus. Like, that place was great. Like, everyone who worked there was so nice to me. The employees were awesome. One of my best friends, Logan Cassette, he worked with me there. Yeah, I know, just kind of, like, I started getting better and, like, able to do stuff again. I still didn't feel great, but that was right around the time, like, at that time in life, I it was kind of nice for me because I think it really added a lot of, like, just clarity, I guess, as to, like, what's important in life. So like I was just doing the things that I really wanted to do, and like cutting out any of like the shit that I didn't care for. So I really wanted to be a YouTuber because I would always watch YouTube growing up, and I just thought it was crazy that like people were just doing whatever they wanted to do and getting paid for it. And it seemed like they were getting paid like pretty well. I didn't really even care much about that. I think I just like the idea of like making a video and like having it, and I just thought it'd be cool. So being at that time, like I was just doing the things, like I didn't care. I was basically living like very in the present. I was just like, fuck it, like I'll just spend all my money and buy this camera and just start trying to do it. So I did that, got the camera obviously, and fucking Mike would always make like little edits. So like he had just made an edit, and I remember he posted on Facebook, and I was like, yo, like I was thinking about making a YouTube channel. Would you want to post that on there? And then like we can both own it together. It'll just be our YouTube channel, and we'll just post videos on there. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, well, I'll come up with a name and make it and whatnot, and then you can upload on it. So like the very first video was technically like a Facebook like summer recap that you made, and we put it on our YouTube channel. And then obviously then I started trying to figure out how to use the camera and just practicing with it. I'd like bring it around whenever we were hanging out and doing anything. I'd just film it, and I got familiar with it and kind of learned how to use it. Then I'd go home and I'd like dink with the footage and like learn how to chop it up and stuff. Shout out to my friend Jason Gilbreth. He like taught me the basics on like this is how you cut, this is how you drag in, but like the rest I did. But yeah, shout out to Jason. So like I was just working like a part-time job basically, and I'd go home. You guys were all in school, and I would like mess with the footage and learn how to like edit. Basically, I taught myself how to edit. It was really tough at the time because I couldn't stare at a computer really long, because it would make me like, if after a certain amount of time I'd get really dizzy. It kind of like fucked me up, so it made editing really hard. I'd like edit for like an hour, and I'd have to take like an hour break or two. I'd maybe get like another hour in. Yeah, so I learned how to edit. Basically, that's like the start of CboysTV.
Was that the first thing that you could do without having to physically do something? You almost used us as like the outlet.
Yeah, like it was like a way that I got integrated back into like the activities you guys were doing, because you guys, I was still like, I was just kind of reintegrating back into like activities back in my life, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, the idea was like the crazier stuff I'll just film and like kind of be a part of it. It was nice because like the thing that like YouTube and like the idea of like trying to make this work, it gave me such a, like it like really saved me in the fact that like it gave me something to do and something like I was excited about, you know, like I like really wanted to do it, because at the time I didn't have much I could look forward to even, you know, it gave you like a purpose, I should say. I think that's like the biggest thing, is just having like a purpose, a reason to like, you know, get up and like try to do something or whatever. And so like that was what YouTube was to me. And then obviously we just slowly started kind of blowing up, and I think it was like 3 videos. So technically it was me and Micah. It was like our channel initially out the gate, but then after like the video started like blowing up, and it was like very apparent that obviously this is a group thing, because it's like, you know, everyone's involved, that it would be our channel. And that's when like obviously we had just started making money, so Ken made the LLC with all of our names on it. And yeah.
So back to like the concussion side of it, where would you say you are now?
I'm much better than where I was. Like I'm like way better, obviously. But like the reason why I oftentimes don't go like on these crazy dirt biking trips and stuff is because it is easier for me to get like rattled, like, and get like a concussion again. And I just don't really, it's not enjoyable for me. If it's something that obviously it's like high risk, I don't think it's like any point.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather not risk it.
Not worth it.
Yeah, what's the point in jeopardizing like your livelihood?
Yeah.
Like, not even just like
an injury.
Yeah,
a
it's
couple
not just an
setbacks.
injury.
It's
It's
not
like-
as enjoyable for me either
No.
when I'm going because I'm like, fuck,
So
I'm trying to
cautious.
be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna. Do you live your life in fear that like the smallest thing could put you back into that state?
I would, I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I'm just cautious, I guess. And like the real reason is like also if I went like, since I wouldn't be doing like the fucking, let's say like crazier things, I would end up just filming it. And it's like, if I'm not really contributing, then I'll just stay back and I can do more here. That's why I don't go to like the crazy snowmobile trips and stuff like that either.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
But yeah, it is easier for me to get a concussion than, I mean, obviously other people.
I remember one time we had just filmed the like demo derby,
Right.
and we were like driving around the field. And our
Right.
field is like a bumpy mess, and you had hopped in the car, and like we're all, as we realized the like seriousness of like concussions in general, but
And
yours.
also my situation.
Yeah, we were like, okay, we got to be conscientious of like, like I wouldn't.
Yeah,
get
you
in
guys
a
are very
car with
careful.
you and
Yeah.
like go bomb through
Yeah.
a ditch
Right.
unexpectedly because I'm like, okay, if you're gonna like, there's risk.
Right.
There's risk with everybody, but like you say, your risk is higher. But I remember one time, we were driving in the car and I was literally driving you over to go film something,
Right.
and we hit this clump of dirt that if we'd
And
been
like
going
completely
20,
stop.
yeah, if we'd been going 20 miles an hour, we probably skipped right over it. But we were going slow and literally just boom. And I remember, dude, like
I was
I think-
sitting weird and I
Yeah.
remember my head hit the windshield. And yeah, then obviously
yeah, and I remember
it
like
shook me up.
yeah, it shook you up, and like I
You
remember
felt
my
bad.
blood ran cold, and I
Yeah.
like didn't know what to do.
Right. That stuff happens all the time with me. Like I mean, fucking, I fell on like the pit bike. Even if I don't hit my head, like
Yeah,
it'll like sometimes it kind of stir me up for like a day or two, and I don't know what it is. I really don't. I've like tried talking with the lady that like basically fixed me about it, and she doesn't really know either. She just says, I don't know if it's like fucking PTSD or what the fuck it is, but it like can like make me feel out of it for a little bit. Like when I crashed a smart car into the log, even though I didn't hit my head, it was still like such a joke
jar.
that like it like fucked me up for like, I don't know, like a week. I wasn't like fucked up like how I was though. Like it's just like I just feel a little out of it, but I go and like work out, and like I just have like a routine. If that happens, say I was one time I was walking and I slipped on the ice, I landed on my back, didn't hit my head, but it still like gives me the I don't know, like I get dizzy or whatever, that feeling. It's happened so many times. I'm really good at like fixing it now. Like I have like a routine where I'll go and like work out, and like I find that like running and like getting blood flow and oxygen, that like really helps me. And then just getting back into like doing things but not like pushing it too far. But yeah, nowadays it's not even close to like, that was like one situation that like really fucked me up.
For people that are listening that have really bad concussion symptoms, like what do you think helped you the most?
So what I had was post-concussion syndrome. So that's something where like after I think like 2 weeks or a month, you have like lasting effects.
Yeah.
Are you asking about that, or are you asking about someone who just got a concussion?
Like what do you think helped you the most? Like helped you recover the most?
I mean, if it was somebody who just got a concussion in a football game, I would tell them just to like, take it easy or do whatever you're supposed to do. But if you're like someone like me who's had lasting effects for a month now, I would say that you need to slowly integrate yourself back into doing the things you were doing that aren't going to risk you hitting your head again. So like working out, for instance, like working out is literally the biggest thing for me. But like that's super good for you because it brings oxygen in your blood to your brain. That's really good. It just helps me, I guess. I don't know. That's what helps me, working out and doing like my exercises where I'd follow like the dots, I guess.
Retraining your brain,
Yeah.
or your eyes.
Basically, you just got to slowly integrate yourself back into society and do things that aren't harmful. There's like so much fucking like substance to this. Like there's so many things I need to like that is like involved in this that it's hard for me to explain it on a podcast without it being 10 hours long. I'm like not trying to like go too in depth to bore people, but also like cover things that are important. So sorry if
we can make
this is
this
all over.
I think it's a very crucial story that like needs to be told, and concussions aren't to be fucked with.
No,
obviously you're a perfect example of that, but
Right.
it's like, you know, people on the internet, they just see like the bright side of everything we do, and like is knowing like the extreme lows of like the brick by brick, step by step to like get out of that. And it is like, I'm sure if you reflect back on it or like could go back, like you might think like you're never going to recover, right?
Yeah.
And plenty of people probably feel that way about, you know, so many different situations in their life. If it's not a concussion, it might be
Loss of a
loved one or your parents' divorce or something like, you know, so many things that could affect, you know, kids at different ages, like in an extreme way. But it's like finding that thing, like you find a
purpose,
passion and purpose.
You
for
need
like,
to just get back to integrating into life, man. You got to get back to living.
yeah, man. I mean, it's a crazy story.
And obviously,
and honestly,
it's like
I didn't even know like the full effect of it really until, you know, we started talking about it. But as you said, like you locked out that period of your life.
it's terrible. I don't like thinking about it at all.
Which is tough. Like, so I'll say me as a person, I didn't know you very well at that point yet. You know, we were at even like early on, this is right before we were starting the YouTube channel. We were all hanging out, but at that point you were just, you know, another buddy that came to hang around. And so like, I felt now hearing all this, like feel really bad not understanding that better.
Yeah.
Just because let's say, I should say fast forward a little bit. We had started the YouTube channel. We were like, let's make videos. Let's do this. It was after we got a little bit of traction, and you had taken like 3 months off, and I'm over here like, what the fuck?
Right.
What is he doing? I thought he wanted to do this YouTube thing, and I should have been asking. I knew it was from your concussion is why you had to step back for a little while, but instead of asking, like what the problem is, you know, I was just kind of upset.
Right.
So anyway, just, you know, reaching out, and I think the hardest part when we would be like, well, how do you feel? And you're like shit, you couldn't really explain it. It's hard. You know, you could be like, I'm dizzy. I don't know what to tell you. And we'd be like, what, why?
Also, like, I don't really like bringing like bad energy. You know, like when you like talk about something not positive, I just don't really like bringing that to the room.
Yeah. Which ended up creating like a lack of communication.
Right.
I was like,
and also I just don't think you guys understood, which no one really understood.
I didn't.
Like my parents
definitely
didn't really
didn't.
like,
No, that's
you know,
very true.
very few people, which made it very hard to like talk to people about, and just lonely, honestly.
Yeah.
During
Yeah.
those like college years, did you kind of use YouTube as like an escape? Almost like of reality, the limited time. Like I remember you had the cracked iPad, but like you were like, dude, this TJ Hunt guy, he's making filming with cars. Like look at the WRX he had, because you had a WRX.
Right.
And like,
Yeah, you were on DJ Hunt way before anyone else.
Yeah,
I mean, among many. Danny Duncan too.
So what did make you want to become a YouTuber?
I mean,
where did that stem from? Because you wanted it before that was even a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was really cool. I thought that they got to just do whatever they want, which obviously I've learned that it's not really like that.
it's not quite that simple.
But you also made a lot of money, and I wasn't necessarily like infatuated with like, oh, I need to make a bunch of money. I didn't necessarily care like about being super rich. I just liked like cars, and I wanted like I had a pretty simple taste. Like I never expected to like own a GTR or like anything like that until like later years. But like I just had like I had a WRX, and I fucking loved that car, and I wanted to put parts on it and like make it cooler. But like at the time, obviously, buying a fucking set of replica wheels that were $800 was like unachievable. You know, I'd fucking no money, and I was just making fucking $10 an hour, working the little bit I did. And yeah, so I think that's why I thought it was cool that these guys were making. Initially, why I bought the camera actually was for making a car channel. Because I thought I would see TJ Hunt and Evan Shanks. they'd make the YouTube videos and they'd obviously make money off of it. Then they'd buy more car parts with it. And then they would film putting the car parts on their car and then make more money. And so I was like, that's a great system. And I also thought it was cool. Like, I like talking cars. I was super into like tuner cars. I still am, but I feel like I've just maybe moved on to other things.
Have other things on your plate.
But yeah, I fucking loved Subarus and like WRX STIs and Evos.
So speaking of Subarus, remember that time that you went to Las Vegas, Nevada to buy that orange WRX?
Dude, that thing was so sick on Instagram, but I think the guy who got it or the guy that sold it to the guy that got it fucked it up. So it was like this show car. We'll put up on the screen, STI on bag, like everything was done to it. And someone fucked it up in the process, and then they were trying to sell it, but the seller didn't like disclose that it was fucked up. Like, he was just like, yeah, it's perfect, like perfect condition. Like, I mean, I didn't really ask that many questions because I was just looking at it like, no one's gonna fucking ruin a car like this, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, I've seen it all over. Obviously, it's perfect. Got there, thing was a pile of shit. I mean, that's basically it. And then I took the YouTube video down because like I felt like I didn't do a good job of like showing it. But that video was blowing up.
It was blowing up
for the time,
which was kind of crazy looking back that we took it down because it was getting tons of views. But we're like, this is not the way we want to get our views or portray our channel.
Yeah, I felt like it made us look bad because I didn't do a good job of telling the story of what happened. I think I had G-Rag holding the fucking camera. Like, I should have brought one of you guys, but
Well, you were that was like early.
I was gonna surprise you guys.
Early
Yeah.
C-Boys days, and CJ flew out to Vegas with G-Rag and his dad to buy this car and then surprise us with it. It was before we were like surprising each other with like different things.
Because I had totaled my blue Subaru WRX hitting 2 deer.
Oh yeah,
So that's why I was getting that. But then I ended up getting the Evo.
To this day, that's the only YouTube video we've taken down. And I'd say it's not even really a bad reason.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it now, and if I did watch it, I would be like, ugh, that's cringe. I don't know.
So throughout the years, you know, we've been doing this for a while now. What, in your opinion, what would you say like our biggest hurdle has been?
All of us
held us back.
All of us getting on like the same page and moving together is one. I think like it was so tough at the beginning because. I mean, you guys weren't like super into YouTube like me. Like, I was fucking just obsessed with it. And like, I felt like I was trying to learn and stuff. And you guys, I don't know if you guys quite understood what it could be. Like, something that was really nice about, you know, my really bad concussion and like kind of being a hermit and doing nothing was it gave me a lot of time to sit by myself and like think, you know, because I didn't have anything else to really do, so I'd think a lot, and I would like Google stuff, and I don't know, I in a way was like just learning. Like I would sit on the computer and like I'd Google stuff. I would fucking like watch YouTube. I don't know. I just learned about a lot of stuff. Like that's how I knew about like Bitcoin and shit way before. Just because like I was just fucking.
Yeah.
Do you see anything ever coming and competing with YouTube?
Not right now, no. But I mean. It'd be really hard too, honestly. Like, I mean, Mr. Beast says it all the time too. Is like, I mean, YouTube's right now is just obviously the GOAT, content king, but
getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's just a form of entertainment, you know. Yeah, it's like a way to give yourself a TV show. If you like that was really the big thing too. Like, I always wanted to be on TV. Like, I was super, like. As a kid growing up, like Rob Dyrdek was like my idol, and like Bam Margera, Viva La Bam, I used to watch that, like shit like that, and I just thought they were so cool.
Who's your favorite now? Or like
who's my idol?
Yeah, like who do you look up to? Not necessarily idol, but like who do you look at as like, man, they're doing a really good job, and I respect them for this reason. Like,
there's a lot of people that I look up to. I mean, Logan Paul, obviously, fucking Chase Hero, fuck, dude, there's so many. Mr. Beast. I'm trying to think of people that aren't YouTubers. Obviously, Rob Dyrdek. He's like a very big entrepreneur. God, I have a lot of people. Like Heavy D. It'll be cool to meet him.
Yeah. What do you like about him?
Heavy D?
Yeah, for like for
Joe Rogan, obviously. Heavy D. The reason why I like Heavy D is because he's just a man, dude. Like, he gets down. Like, you know, he's to the point. Like, he's no bullshit. You can just tell he's just a good guy, and he's a hard worker, and he gets shit done.
Yeah, he does.
And he's also smart. Like, he's just fucking well-rounded, dynamic.
Yeah.
You know? And same with Joe Rogan. Like, Joe Rogan can talk to anybody. Like, you look at, like, his podcast, he'll have, like, a Navy SEAL on, and then the next one he has a person who escaped from North Korea, and he asks, like, the best questions, and I think he just learns. Like, they're just smart, you know? And, like, they're, like, the definition of a real man. Like, I think, like, he hunts, and not that hunting makes you a man, but, like, just does manly stuff. Takes care of his family.
Very respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they just do the right thing.
I mean, we talk about this all the time, but you're so addicted to just constant stimulus.
I know, dude.
Like,
When you were
constant.
talking about, like, trying to stay like this, like, I'm such a sicko. Like, I fucking love just, like, the like, I fucking love the views. I love it when, like, videos getting views. I love seeing the money keep coming in. I love, like, constant, like, change. Like, I like upgrades. I love that.
Would you consider yourself more of like a materialistic upgrade? Like you like working towards buying that next thing? Like, no one wants to be like, oh yeah, I'm materialistic. Like, I care about money. But do you like making money and like constantly growing and becoming bigger and better so you can buy different things and grow your lifestyle? Or are you like, no, I just want to make like better videos or have the videos receive more? Or do you think they like go hand in hand?
I think it goes hand in hand, honestly. Like, I wouldn't want to make, like, shitty videos and then make more money off of them. I'd rather make good videos.
Because you
and also,
yeah, could.
You can.
Yeah.
Because we
A lot of
could.
people do.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I just like, I like feeling like my life is getting better. I like just building, I guess. That's probably the best thing, the best way to put it.
Building, growing.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's like modifying your car. Like, it sucks when it's stock. So you fucking buy parts and put it on.
You heard it here.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a great way to put it.
Nobody wants a stock life.
I like being able to do what I want. I realized 6 years ago that money is power and money is freedom. Maybe not, money is power, but more so that money is freedom.
Yeah.
But money can also kind of like fucking lock you down.
You know how they say like more money, more problems?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
Really?
I think higher lifestyle, more problems.
True.
Yeah.
Because you can have a shitload of money in the bank. You got $1 million sitting in the bank, but you're still living a pretty chill lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just how you
You're
structure
chilling.
it.
More
right?
s-
But you got $100,000 in the bank, but you got $1 million house, you got $100,000 car, you got all these payments, you got people, you got employees,
Yeah.
depending on you. That's like you're making more money, but you got more problems, you got more headaches.
You
So
know
it's
what
like if your lifestyle doesn't grow with your income, then
Yeah.
do you have more
100%.
problems?
I think it's more stuff, more problems. Like the more you buy, like you get a boat, you got to take the boat in, you got to take it out, you got to bring it to get serviced. You gotta
Yeah.
do everything. The more
Yeah.
stuff
And then
you
it takes
have,
up your time. Then you have less free time.
yeah, less mental space. I think Elon Musk was talking
Yeah. He
about
like got
that.
rid of all his
Yeah,
shit.
he sold everything because he's like, it takes up too much of my time. And then he's in space like 6 months later.
Yeah,
So,
makes
That
sense.
is
says
that is
something.
true.
Uh,
The more stuff you have, the more you have to maintenance.
Yeah.
And Lord knows we don't like maintenancing.
There's something easy about, like, you look at like the start. Like, we didn't have any money or anything, but it was just fun. Like, I was just happy to be like doing something, I guess. I think just doing what you love is probably the biggest part. Like, if I have to like do things for the videos that I don't want to do, then it would suck.
What's your favorite, like in all the roles that you have, what's your favorite role? State your roles. Like, what do you do in the company, and then answer it.
I'd say like I come up with a lot of content ideas, structuring of like maybe what bits go into videos, because obviously we have multiple different segments in a video, so like what flows in the best. Obviously like the camera guy a lot of times, and then I'd say also like almost director behind the camera at times, like just like, hey, like I missed you saying this, like, or like if you say this, like this will be really funny, you know.
Yep.
Obviously editor, and then like thumbnails, stuff like that. I guess
Title and
title. Like I do like a lot of the mostly like a lot of the YouTube back end stuff I do. I guess maybe I have input like everyone else into moves that we make as a company.
right. What's your favorite?
Of my roles,
Yeah. If you could only
I guess my favorite thing about what we do, it doesn't matter what we're doing that day. This doesn't even answer your question, but I love it when everyone's just having fun. Like, I love it when we're like, we could literally be doing nothing, but when we're just all laughing and like it's just vibing, like that's the best, because that's when like the best content comes, and also it's just the easiest, and it's just fun. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all do. It is tough, you know, because it's like not every single thing we do is super easy to just get into that like flow state.
I'd say like for me, filming a video is like kind of, it seems like it maybe is a little bit more work for me than like some people in the group, just because I'm like running around with the camera. I'm trying to get like certain shots, and then I'm also trying to like be like, hold on, don't do this yet, because I need to do this first. That way, you know, I don't know.
I agree too, and like I don't even do as much as you do, but yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I believe you're a creator at heart.
yeah,
Like, you love to create like a piece of content
I'd agree
to
with
put out.
that.
Like, through and through, you love like coming up with a vision. Like, even say, you know, Micah comes up with the idea, but you're like, yes, this is how we can make that.
Execute it.
Yeah, how to execute it and how to make it the best. Because like, you could come up with a great idea. There's tons of people that have filmed way cooler things than us, but they have an iPhone like this, and nobody talks, nobody explains what's going on, and it's not good. And that's what you're really good
I guess
at.
I'm good at like figuring out how to put it into a video.
Yeah, exactly.
And make it work. Oftentimes someone will come to me and be like, hey, this is a really good idea. And it is a good idea, but I'm like, that just wouldn't work for a YouTube video, because I don't know how I'd film that. Like, how would I capture that, and how would I make it make sense?
Exactly.
You know? So that's like something other people don't think about. But yeah, going back to your question, like, do I like making money so I can buy like materialistic things? I think I just like building, like building my life. Yeah. Like building fucking, like just growing, you know, creating, I guess.
I think all of us do, and that's why we all get along pretty well. You know,
we do.
It's not always for the same reason. You know, like you like building, you like making good videos, but then you also better videos, more views, more money. Like you can buy you can buy a nice house, where Micah is like, I don't really give a fuck about like that, but he has a completely different agenda, but it's all pretty much the same.
Deep down, like, we all do love to create.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
when something is unfolding in front of us, basically in front of the camera, it's like we all have hard-ons, you know?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, I
actually.
love
But it's just like, yes.
Mike, I don't want to get into this again.
I know. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I like making people laugh. I like making people happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like very lucky. I'd say that, I mean, all of us are, that people like watching our videos. Like, super grateful for that, because there's so many people out there making videos that aren't getting any views. And,
Grateful for like the positive comments too. Like, we read them, and when we hear them, we're like, sweet, you like what we're doing. We like what we're doing too.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep doing it.
Just happy that I get to do this every day. And I bet like I worked for it, and that's my whole thing. I tell other people is like, you can do it too.
Yeah.
You just gotta do it, man. A lot of people sit around and talk about it.
I often think back to like how many videos we've created, like 300 videos. I don't even remember, probably 90% of them. But like putting in the work back then just seemed like so mindless, of like, oh, this is just like what we got to do. And now it's luckily paying off, and it's really cool to see like all those old videos still pulling really, really good views. And, you know, looking at like the creator studio and being like, holy shit, like a video 2.5 years ago pulled like 100,000 views this week. And it's like, man, I'm glad that I put the work in back then.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
for sure.
I just love achievement. I've been really stuck on that question you did a while ago. I just love achievement. That's really what it is. I don't necessarily love, like, I fucking hate editing videos. I hate it. It's like the worst time of my week is sitting there and working on a video for 12 to 14 hours, editing it.
Yeah.
But nothing feels better than when it's done, uploaded, people are watching it, liking it, and I go out to eat and get a beer. Like, I feel like I did good. That's what I like doing. I like achieving.
And the cool thing is, with what we're doing, you get a lot more achievements, and they're all different, you know, like there's a lot of achievements that we can reach towards versus at a job, the same job, same day. Yeah.
How good did it feel to hit 1 million subscribers?
Felt really good, dude. I mean, fuck, like, I like had, I don't know. It's like you want it so bad, but you don't know like if it's really gonna happen. You know.
Would you say that was something that you worked for, like since the beginning?
Yeah.
Was that your goal?
Obviously it was like fucking 100 subscribers. It was just fucking getting views at first, obviously, and then your goals, the posts keep changing. But yeah, I mean that felt amazing, dude. I was so happy, just because it's just like felt so official. You know, it felt like, I mean, obviously we were doing it no matter whether you got the subscribers or not. You're doing it, but like, it just felt like it sealed the deal, kind of. I guess I don't know. It's a lot easier to tell people.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, it makes me. It feels good.
Like 1.2 million versus
860,000.
Right.
Yeah.
I like maybe just being respected by people.
Feel like
I definitely
stamped it.
Like, I don't know, just like earned me more respect in the community and like going places and yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
You know?
I agree completely. You know what's bullshit though? YouTube still hasn't sent us our 1 million plaque.
Yeah.
I know.
Can you imagine that you're asking, you're like, yeah, how many subscribers do you have? Oh, we're like 1.3 now. And then they're just like, oh, but do you have your plaque?
You
They're
think
like,
people
no.
ask that?
No, but if they did,
If they did.
and you're like, no, and they're like, not that official.
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit, but also like it's so weird because like when you're like, I remember when we got our 100,000 plaque, I thought it was so I mean, it meant so much to me, but like the plaque really doesn't mean anything to me.
It would be sick to get one on
I
this
would
channel.
like to
though.
have it.
I know.
Though,
Yeah, I
so.
was just
Can we
like,
subscribe?
No, I mean,
But then
in
it's
the
your-
grand scheme of things, it's just a plaque. Like,
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
a thing on the wall that we walk by and you
Yeah.
don't even look at it.
What really matters is just the people that are subscribing and the content, I guess. I don't know. The video.
Yeah.
As long as
Wow.
people like it.
yeah.
Man,
There you have it. CJ,
it was
the
a hell of an
creator.
episode.
Sorry if it was all over the place, dude. I don't know. It's just so much to talk about.
I felt like it was pretty linear.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
do too.
started from
I'm
the
glad.
beginning, ended
Fucking-
here.
I felt like fucking. I was like searching through so much shit,
That's another
trying
thing.
to figure out what to include.
I was like kind of watching, listening to you tell the story, and I could tell that you're like thinking about something completely different. You were like thinking about the rest of your story as you were telling your story.
Yeah, I didn't
you
want
know.
to. I would like jump ahead, but anyways,
It's all good.
Yeah,
It's all good.
that was fun, dude.
That
It was
was-
nice just sitting down and doing it.
Yeah.
But I've been dreading this podcast because I knew it
Yeah,
was gonna come.
Cedar's Really? nervous.
I've been dreading it since we started making it because I knew I'd have to tell this story, and I just like didn't really want to tell it.
Yeah.
You
to
did
be honest.
fantastic, and I think a lot of people can take a lot of good points out of
Yeah.
the journey of your life and ours, but
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
Whether you are
Absolutely.
going through a hard time with a fucking concussion, or if you broke your fucking leg and you're trying to get back to walking, or something set you back in life, you gotta work towards getting back to where you want to be, and yeah, just try not to get too down on yourself, and find a purpose. You know, like something Heavy D once said. Here's another reason why I like Heavy D. He said that he was talking about all the people in the world that like depression is so like prominent right now, like prevalent all over the place. Like so many people are depressed. Well, he was talking like, honestly, like I think if people just like, I don't know exactly how he said it, but he said if people just did more, they wouldn't be I think less people would be depressed. And that's so true, because if you have a purpose and a reason to get up and like go, you fucking can do it. Like I don't even have time to be depressed, dude. I fucking am worried about. I'm not worried, but I am worried. But I'm always thinking about what I gotta do next. I'm always on to the next. You know, like I'm always just building.
Yeah, if you don't have time to sit there and think about your life or your issues, you know, you gotta worry
sit there
about
and
different
dwell on
things.
them. You know, so yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely. It's tough to convince people that, you know.
Right, and I mean, obviously, I'm not a fucking therapist or a mental health expert, but I think that it would help. I think working out is a big thing. That's why I love it so much.
It is interesting though, but because you've been in a position where you actually can say something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can. Yeah, you are right on that. But I don't know. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
I don't really try to give advice unless people ask for it. So many people fucking always try to give me advice back in the day, like with YouTube. Fucking, I'm just like, yeah, maybe. So yeah, I don't. If someone's like trying to do something, like, I don't go and tell them what to do. unless they ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, dude, this was probably one of my favorite episodes. I think we uncovered a lot. I found it interesting because, as you stated, like you don't talk about that stage of your life ever. You know, none of us bring it up ever because it was such a low point. So it was, it gave us some clarity, and it gave the listener a lot of clarity too, as to like, the things that built you. Makes it a little more a little bit more understandable.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we got it off. I could keep going. I got so much shit.
We'll hold it for another podcast.
Yeah.
For those of you that are still watching, we appreciate you. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. We're so close to 100K. Let's just get there.
No
okay?
kidding.
I mean, we've been talking amongst the group like
where we want to take this podcast.
Yeah, so like obviously we can sit down and talk just amongst the group, but it's like, how many times can you do that where it's, telling new stories and like kind of getting into different things? Obviously we have like so many stories, but we want to continue to maybe bring on guests. So it's like looking at like, well, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. How do we get guests on the podcast without
we can start doing that. We can.
I think we should. Yeah.
Yeah. And also we're going to Florida for Cletus's Les Mullets race in November. We're gonna bring down all the podcast equipment, and obviously, I bet you Haley will hop on for sure. But maybe we'll be able to get like Cletus or some of those guys. If we could get them on, that'd be amazing. Obviously, they're really big guys, and I understand if they don't want to, but go spam their shit. Be like, yo, you guys need to hop on on the Life Wide Open podcast, or just say CboysTV's podcast.
It'd be sick to get Haley Deegan, Whistling Diesel,
it'd be incredible.
Heavy D,
Jeez.
Wesleyan Champlin.
Right.
I
bet
love
you
to
Wes
interview
would.
Weston.
Yeah.
That guy's the best.
Go spam fucking all those guys. Say, go on CboysTV's podcast, because then they'll start like noticing it in the comments. If they keep seeing like prevalent ones, I'll be like, huh, maybe I will then.
Yeah.
But it'll be cool
That'd be
meeting all
awesome.
those guys.
Yeah, well,
We're really
shout out
excited for
Haley. Haley's the one that invited us to be our co-driver. We haven't decided who's going to be the co-driver.
we gotta
yet.
figure
We
that
haven't
out.
done
Go
it.
race and
We
figure
gotta
it out.
figure that out.
So we're going to do a little race between all of us, and whoever wins gets to race the second
Les
or the
Mullets.
first leg with Haley, which that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And we're also going to SEMA.
Yes.
We're all doing that,
That's
so
gonna
that'll
be
be fun.
fucking lit.
Yeah.
We're going
Is
with
that-
Mark and Tint.
It's like
They're
in a
sitting over there.
couple weeks.
Beginning of November.
Yeah.
Mark was just telling us that we got a VIP booth at some
Steve
some
Aoki.
club.
Dude,
Hey, hold up. Are you paying for it, Mark? Let's go. Amazing.
On that note,
Yeah, on that note,
Ryan and I are going to a Vikings game.
Hell yeah.
see ya.
Thanks, guys.
Have fun watching
Peace.
them lose.